Are those Yeezys?
These? No.
I don't even know what Yeezys look like.
Those are Y3s, yeah.
Yeah, I love
Wait, what are Y3s? That's
I
not
say
an
it like
Yeezy?
I have any idea.
It starts
I just
with a
see
Y.
You know.
I just see people like David Beckham wearing them all the time.
These are so
Is that a
comfortable.
brand, Y3?
Yeah.
Hold them up so the camera can see.
I don't even
These
know.
are a talking point shoe.
Dude, these are like some kind of suction cup NASA thing.
It's
What's
the
going?
next level stuff. You know?
Is it like?
I'm gonna throw that right there.
You actually have to be affiliated with NASA.
Some kind of.
You have to use their login code.
You
To,
have to put in your NASA promo code in the Adidas website.
and you don't even get a discount.
Yeah, for sure. They actually, for this chair, they're perfect. It goes right. I'm like locked in.
It's like you're wearing heels. This is how it feels when you wear heels.
Yeah,
Love it.
totally. Yeah.
I'm into that.
I gotta up my game.
You're the heel type.
I gotta
Yeah,
up
you
my game.
flat shoes. Come
I
on,
know,
flat bottom
I know,
shoes.
But I tried to have a little pop of color here, so.
I like it, and they're
Little
kind of
something.
suede.
Love it.
Not great for the weather, but
Hey, how's your brother, by the way?
he's good.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back home.
Good.
So he's all, yeah, I mean, he still has to get his appendix taken out, but they needed
Oh.
his infection to go away. So he's
Yeah.
like not suffering right now, so that's good.
Well, I was wondering where he was because I was trying to see like in sneak where he was.
Yeah, he was at the Huntington Hospital
Oh, okay.
in Pasadena.
I figured he was down here in Burbank because that's where all the
Oh, yeah, really?
cool celebs go.
I'm sure that is. Dang.
Not Cedars?
Forget Beverly Hills.
No, because I think people expect them to be there, but they kind
Right.
of sneak over here to Burbank. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I
diversion.
like it. Celebrity
Yeah,
secrets.
right.
Yeah, he was at the more family vibe of a hospital. But yeah, it was good. It was really pretty hospital, actually.
I'm glad he's good.
I know, poor guy. Felt so bad for
I'm
him.
glad he's all right.
I was
Hey,
like not sleeping.
How did this happen, by the way? I want to jump straight into you two
Yes.
because you guys, I feel like you guys are so completely opposite. And is it the opposite attract?
Well, that's why.
Audien, you tell me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I always try to work with people that aren't in the dance space.
Yeah.
And, like, I did that with Lady Antebellum.
Yes.
And, like, I did,
Yeah, that
you know,
that's a collab.
I like
Max, right, as
Max,
well? Same.
Yeah, Max. Max is just in every space. He just infiltrates everything.
Yeah.
He's in space.
He's just the man.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I always wanted to work with Echosmith because I like the voice, and I like the songs,
Yeah.
kids, you know.
So how did you do it? Like, did you call? Did you know someone, or how did this?
Well, no, I mean, it was like they just had a lot of demos, and I actually sifted through. There was like probably 20 demos in there because they just crank music out all the time. And then there was one really, well, they're all really good, but this one was like really special to me, and I took it and then immediately started making instrumental stuff for it.
Wait, when you say there's a demo, like there's an actual.
There's like a
track floating around, and you can choose if I want to work with this.
It's like
kind
a
of thing?
vocal mixed with like some instrumental elements,
Okay.
which usually I don't use. But this time I actually used like a lot of them, like a lot of the guitars from the brothers and stuff. So I was
Yeah.
able to incorporate.
But that was sent through our like managers and stuff. Like we hadn't met until we were doing promo for
Until
the
right
song being
now.
out now. Like literally, I mean, 2 months ago, and we're like, oh, the song is out now, and also, nice to meet you. You know, like
Yeah.
literally, we didn't meet until it was out.
Meet.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
so
just shows you the future.
We're in the future. We got the future shoes, and now we're future process of
There
working.
you go.
Yes.
That's all right. And it's good that you mentioned the other members as well, because I wondered, are they even in this?
Yeah.
And if they are not,
the
are
little
they getting a
flavors.
cut? Are they a part of it?
Yeah.
Or is this the easiest money? Because I can see Noah just loving this.
He's like chilling.
He's like,
Yeah.
this is the best money I've ever made doing nothing.
Yeah. No, they're in it. Like the
Okay.
guitars, there's bass, drums. Like a lot of dance guys, they take just the vocal and then
Yeah.
they throw everything else away. But this, like, all the parts were so good, and I was like, I can't not use these. Like even the hi hats, there was hi hats that I loved, and it's like,
Graham's hi hats, you know.
Yeah, and not to get too nerdy as far as having everything in it, because when you listen to the track, it's layers, man. I mean, even like an ambient note that really just makes it wide.
yeah.
How do you know when to? I gotta stop adding stuff. I gotta start pulling stuff out. How do
Well,
you
that's
know?
my problem actually. Is I add too much stuff. Like a lot of people, they don't add enough. I add too much, and it's like that's just as bad as not adding enough. But in this song, it worked well. I think the balance was good. I actually had to strip a lot of stuff back, believe it
Yeah.
or not. If you can imagine more stuff in that mix.
There was.
But it was like, you know, that's my thing. Is like layered sound. Like I even back from like 2011, like I've always had like a very layered sound. I think a lot of people kind of know me for that. At this point.
Sure. And I remember because I'm old school, like BT hybrid type
Oh.
of that. And
Okay.
and I've heard BT even says that's the
so
sign
funny.
of a good producer is
I-
knowing when to pull
Dude.
stuff out.
BT is the man. I
He
just
is.
went on a BT hole like just the other day.
Yeah?
'Cause all of his old albums, like This Binary Universe, like
Yeah.
I used to just like idolize this stuff. This was like really next level stuff at the time. It even is still future leaning now. Like it's still ahead of its time
He
now.
was way like hip hop phenomenon,
He's a
all
man.
that stuff. Does it kill you to know he was just at Avalon Hollywood 2 days ago?
I mean, where were you?
You just missed a BT show like 2 days ago.
I would have gone for sure. Like
yeah.
I just love BT. He inspired me a lot early on.
He's like the OG. And what do you call? I mean, I was kind of staying away from saying EDM or what do you what do you call it? I mean,
I call it EDM.
Yeah.
I call it whatever it wants to be. It's just dance music. It's electronic music. It's just like rage, turn up music, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It's just
throwing crap around.
Dance.
Continue, carry on. No one's paying attention to me anyway.
I don't know. I stopped labeling it. I just say it's like, I mostly call it EDM these days.
Right.
You know? If it's like 4 to the floor and it's just got energy, it's EDM.
And with some bounce, like this song.
Yeah.
There's some fun like.
Some bounce, yeah.
Do. That's my favorite.
It's got
little line you made.
The beat with the arpeggiator. It's got a nice bounce with it too.
Yeah.
Who wrote it? Like who you? So you actually wrote the lyrics and stuff?
Yeah. So we had worked on it actually, this song wasn't super new to us. I mean, because we had started working on it a couple years ago, probably. So by the time it got to him, I mean, most of it was there, but I mean, I still, redid vocals and all that as we were collaborating. But that's why I like the song, and I think that's why Nate connected to it, because it's something that I think a lot of us can relate to, whether it's now or sometime in the past or sometime in the future. Like, everyone experiences getting caught up in their own head, and I still do all the time. Even as I was practicing for EDC with him, the whole week before, I don't know, I just kept stressing myself out, like, you're gonna forget the words, even though I knew the song by heart. Like,
it's weird.
I wasn't worried, but I was like, what is the song about? Why can I not take my own advice?
Yeah. It's weird to think that you're like that as well, because I think a lot of people see you up on stage and you're like, wow, I want to be that. I want to be
they're so confident.
And it's like, hold up, maybe you are that. You are exactly that person, and that's why you like the song.
That's why you're even able to write that kind of song. You have to experience it at least to some degree, and everyone experiences it different. But for me, it definitely is like still ringing true, even though it was written,
right,
a couple years ago.
God.
Timeless concept.
It really is.
Unfortunately.
I like working with songs that may have been like a year or something older, or at least demos rather, and then like the concept becomes even more like prevalent like in the current time period when the song's actually produced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like the song is written 2 years ago, and now it's talked about more now than ever.
That's true.
Sure.
The concept.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
just like, that's not why we did it. It's just kind of like, I
Just
love
worked
this
out.
song because of like the melodies and stuff. I always latch on to melodies, but then when I realized what the song was about as I was working on it more, I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense for like right now. A lot of people are, struggling with mental health and
And
stuff
like you said, it's more vulnerable. People are letting people know, hey, you know what? I do feel that way. I get my way all the time. I
for
overthink,
sure.
Yeah.
I probably will feel that way until I'm dead. I think everyone will.
Yeah.
It's just something we all feel.
It's a matter of how do we cope with it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Right?
and how do you just manage to feel it less often or whatever, because you're never going to just cure something, I mean, I guess that's not necessarily true, but, something you struggle with can be a struggle off and on forever, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And you did mention the melodies and stuff, and there is, and I'm trying to not sound like I'm 100 years old in the way I word this, but there's something in the melody.
Back in my day.
There's something about the melody of EDM, and I'll be specific about your music too. It's hitting something, and it's not as simple as, hey, I like the way this sounds. I like this melody. It's hitting something with the brain that it's making it so attractive, and it feels like that's the way with a lot of EDM, and it's almost like there are notes that shouldn't be there, or chords that shouldn't work together but do, and it's just like, yo, that just did something. I don't know what that's hitting.
It's because like, music for the longest time, for decades, was just instruments, and it's like very rarely would people introduce synthesizers and stuff like that, but like EDM and stuff is like all synth based. So like you have like a lot of like just really different textures that you can't get with instruments and stuff. It gets boring though. It can sound really digital. That's why I like reintroducing instruments and like live, guitars and drums and stuff, because it brings like a life element back into it. But I think the melodies that you're feeling is just because like all the synths are like perfectly in tune, and it's like they're unique sounds that like phase well together, and it like creates this sort of like melancholic sort of like, it's hard to explain.
Well, there's even these turns as well, and like if you hear, like music is an 8 count, 5, 6, 7, and when you get to like 5 or 6, you kind of know what's coming in 7, 8.
Yeah.
But some tracks they just go a completely different way, and it's like that becomes an addiction. It's like, I got to rewind that. It takes me an hour to get through a song sometimes. I got to rewind that and hear that again because I was not expecting that. It was so cool. So
that's what it's all about. It's like surprise, the element of surprise with dance music.
And probably keeps it exciting for you too. Hey, what's this post that I saw on the Echosmith page where they say swipe to remove Sydney? What's that?
Oh.
What's that? All 3 members are there, and it
What
says
is this?
swipe to take Sydney. Are you leaving the group?
No.
No, hold on. This is
Okay,
true.
I think people read into it too
What I think is that you just had enough of Noah being a complete smartass and you say, you know what, you can do this group on your own. Swipe right.
It's a lot of theories.
Yeah.
So
It's probably not.
I posted this thing for people who haven't seen the post. It literally was, it's because we were taking photos backstage, or I don't know, before we were playing some show, and we found this really cool landscape, and I was with our mom was with us, and I was like, hey, can you take a picture? And I was like testing the photos, like, okay, can you take it just like this? So I had the photo of them before, just because I was like trying to get the cool shot, and then I hopped in there, and I just thought it was funny, like, and then someone commented, they're like, oh, it's like Thanos' snap, and I thought that was genius.
But now everybody
Like, you
thinks
know
you're
how
leaving the group.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not. I'm never. Yeah,
Okay.
being solo is not in my future as far as I'm aware. As long as they're down to always do music, I'm
Then you're
sticking
in.
with the fam.
Speaking of solo, you still liking being married? How's that? How's that going? Still like the dude?
I'm married. No, yeah, I'm coming
Yay!
on 2 months now, which is just like
Yeah.
crazy.
Really?
I don't know how that
I feel like
happened.
it was like wow,
It
2
feels like
months.
it was 2 weeks ago, but
Crazy.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I just had so much fun planning a wedding and doing all. I dreamed of this literally my whole life.
Yeah, and you're a big foodie, right? So what did you?
Yeah.
Just real quick. Before
What
we
were-
let
what
you
was the
go,
food?
Yeah.
Okay, the appetizers were the best part. We had these little tomato soup shooters with grilled cheese on top, of course. And then we had stuffed mushrooms that had, I don't know, cheese and bacon probably. And then there was something else. Oh, and we had these mashed potatoes. And of course we had like, a tri-tip and whatever, sweet potato ravioli. But I was like, I just want a million of the shooters, and I want the mushrooms and sweet potatoes, or mashed potatoes. So
They
I was
had,
just
like,
eating carbs. That's it.
They had a 3D. They had a 3D printer of food. You can just print whatever food you
That
want.
would be so awesome.
That's the future.
They will get to that eventually,
We're
but it
getting
was
there.
pretty bomb.
You had me a grilled cheese, and that was
Yeah.
it.
Grilled cheese.
Last thing
it.
too. Noah's married too, right?
Noah is married
What
too.
advice did your brother Noah give you
None.
about marriage?
He
What?
gave me no advice. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, you would think he would have given me more, but I think, I don't know, he told me, obviously everyone's like, enjoy your day, the typical, which is a good thing to say, because you
Sure.
do forget to, you get caught up in the stress, but he was just telling me about like the transition of like them moving in, or you moving in with them, or whatever it is for your situation, and he's like, you just gotta find your routine and make compromises so that you're both happy, because everyone has their own little things. Like I love sleeping in and watching 2 hours of TV before I go to bed, and not everyone is like that apparently, but that's okay. I just like watch Friends on like level 8 for the volume, because it's quiet enough for me to get away with it. So you just make it work. Married life.
Friends, that's all
Friends.
you need.
I just started watching it for the first time.
What
It's
is
so
it?
late.
Watching what?
Friends.
That's
a whole other
interview.
I
A
know,
whole
guys.
nother
And
interview.
Ross was just getting married to Emily, and then he said her name. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that?
Hi, Ross.
Take you, Rachel. Ah! I literally like got up out of bed. I was like, yeah, just like all the actors. It was great. Anyway. That's-
Nobody tell her spoilers of what happened on Friends finale 20
Oh, yeah,
years
it
ago. Don't
definitely-
tell
I
spoilers.
feel like people keep accidentally telling me stuff, so I'm just gonna forget about it.
You'll forget about it. There's too much. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Thank you so
Sorry.
much for coming back in. Come in more often, will you?
course.
We see you not enough. And you,
Sounds good.
pleasure.
Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you. So
Pleasure,
thank you
pleasure.
guys.
Yay. Thanks, guys.
I have so much
Yay.
more.
So much more.